Yo, welcome back to a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb closer and closer to that remarkable number of chapter 300, the backstories of Asta and Li Bei continue to expand, and as we edge closer and closer to the end of this arc, I believe we are finally going to see the true origins of Asta and Li Bei. Although as of yet we know most of the story, there are still very much so parts of the story we do not know and we are still yet to understand. So in this video we're going to go ahead and put together a lot of the theories, including your theories from Discord. For the record, if you haven't already, be sure to join Discord, as I do regularly include your guys' theories into the video. And we're going to sum up everything we know in regards to Asta and Li Bei's origin, leading up to the chapter and their reveal in most likely chapter 300. I don't know what Tabata has planned for chapter 300, but for the record, I can guarantee you today that chapter 300 is going to be fucking legendary. With that being said, as always, be sure to support the artist for this video, who is Pratt. Pratt is an absolutely amazing artist. Be sure to go show him some love and support. Also, the next official chapter of the Black Clover manga obviously is next week, Sunday, April 18th. We're also going to be doing a live stream. Remember, we're doing a giveaway of 5 Black Clover Volume 28 when we hit 15,000 subscribers, so be sure to click that subscribe button and join Discord for further information. With that being said, let's just jump straight into this video of Asta and Li Bei's true origins. Alright, jumping straight into it, let's start with our lovable little cute and arguably horrifying devil, Li Bei. From what we know in parts of Li Bei's story comes from directly chapter 268, correctly titled Devil by Yuki Tabata. Li Bei goes on to say devils are born in the underworld. This is the only thing he says. We do not know how they are born. They're either born, most of the theories comes from they are born from hatred from humans, they are born just like normal humans, a daddy devil and a mommy devil, or they're born just from pure mana. We do not know how devils are born, only that they are born in the underworld. And the same way as it is in the Clover Kingdom, when a devil is born, just like the Clover Kingdom, from the time they are born, devils have a set place in the pecking order, and there's no way to change it. This is literally the exact same to anybody in the Clover, Heart, Diamond, or Spade Kingdom. When you are born to a family, and that family has, if they're royalty, you're gonna have some insane level of fucking mana, and if you're a peasant born to a literal fucking nobody, you're gonna have very, very low mana, and you're gonna struggle. There is no way to change this. No matter how hard you train in your life, let's take, for example, Magna, unless the dude started doing drugs, there is no way for you to naturally increase your mana. You are born that way. That is all there ever is going to be. Now, from Black Clover chapter 287, we can officially conclude there is more to Li Bei's backstory, because in chapter 287, Li Bei says, and I quote, sorry, that's the best Li Bei laugh I can do. I know, that's pretty fucking terrible. Anyway, who'd have thought I'd run into you in this world, Lilith and Nahama, high-level devils. Now, the fact that Li Bei knows who Lilith and Nahama is an issue, because in chapter 268, we saw Li Bei's entire backstory. Or did we? From Black Clover chapter 287, we can now conclude that there is more going on with Li Bei's backstory than we originally have known. This is very common for Yuki Tabata. Yuki Tabata shows us a part of the story, and then 100 chapters later shows us what actually happened in that story. A prime example of this is, for the record, Best Girl Sakurai. Be sure to vote for her in the poll. Sekire's backstory showed that she saved Lumiere, she saw the Princess Tetia die, and that was pretty much it, and she got sealed. 100 or 200 chapters later, we learn that, hold up, in that moment, she also sealed Tetia's wound, and oh my god, hold up, Tetia survived? Now, a lot of people see this as an issue with Yuki Tabata, because the way he writes his story is very predictable. He shows you a part of the story and then expands on it 100 or so chapters later. But I personally like this way of doing a story because it allows us, the community, to come up with some super epic predictions on what we think is going on. Now, giving you my predictions, the fact that Libe obviously knows Lilith and Ahama means there's obviously more to his backstory. And as Libe said, there wasn't a day he didn't bleed. We don't exactly know how long Libe was in the underworld. There's a very big theory that once we get the underworld arc in the future, which for the record, I guarantee you we are getting underworld future arc, we're going to expand onto Libe's backstory and most likely learn that the underworld time passes differently. This has made sense for almost every other anime and manga that have covered an underworld arc. For example, Seven Deadly Sins, when Meliodas spends nearly 40 million years in the underworld, but obviously in the real life, only a few hours had passed or a few days had passed. I am very excited to learn more about Libe's backstory. Giving you my personal theory, I highly expect Libe's parents to be high-ranking devils. We've known throughout the last couple chapters especially that the medium to low-ranking devils look like animals. The ones we saw a couple chapters ago, they looked like literal animals. One of them was a literal hentai monster we saw in chapter 285. The ones Luck fought, or I guess it was chapter 284, the ones Luck fought with ultimate magic, they looked like animals. One of them was a giant, oh my god, Squidward, but a female Squidward, and god, was she fucking hot. But what we know about Libe is that Libe holds a human-esque form, and a human form is only seen with the Qliphoth level devils. So I highly suspect Libe's parents and origins to be from a high-ranking devil, but we do not know what happened. Now, before we jump into the big boy himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Asta, I do just want to point out, guys, yesterday's like goal was 500 likes, and we almost surpassed 500. We got to 349. So, guys, let's do it today. Be sure to smash that like button. Let's get to 500 likes for this video. It really will support the channel, and obviously, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe as we're doing a massive giveaway at 15,000 followers. All right, jumping into Asta's origins. We know also, funny enough, from chapter 268, Asta's origin starts with Lysida. It's now confirmed Lysida is his mom. So 17 years ago, about a couple months or a year before Libe found Lysida, Lysida gave up a child. And from the backstory, she says, this time, I'm not letting go. Now, obviously, when she said this, this was Libe being taken over by a devil, but Lysida says the words, this time I'm not letting go. Now, obviously, Lysida gave up Asta, and the big theory is she gave it up because her body, she has a body that steals magic and life from whatever is near her. But the issue with that is, we've seen it in the past that Asta is completely immune to life forming energy, and just like Libe, Asta had no magic, and the fact that Lysida has magic, she can detect that Asta has no magic. So we go back to the phrasing, this time I'm not letting go, and to the fact that Lysida was completely normal when she first met Libe. I'm sorry, yeah, but Libe is a devil. No matter how you want to paint it, he's a child. He is a devil. He looks horrifying. He looks evil. He's got fucking claws and like teeth as canines. Libe looks evil. But Lysida never saw Libe as anything other than a wounded child. Now, the big theory going around is that Asta's father needs to be someone who is immune to Lysida's life magic, needs to be someone that affected Lysida in the way that she was forced to give up Asta as a child and needs to be able to survive, obviously, Lucida's body. All right, let's keep this channel PG-13. Now, the big theory is that Asta's father is the father of Libe and the father of Asta. If Asta's father is a devil, it would explain why, even though Asta has no magic, we cannot look past the fact that Asta is extremely strong than any normal human. Asta's normal punches break mountains, as we've seen before. Asta's normal jumping can literally jump him hundreds of feet into the air. I'm sorry, yeah, but that is not human. Asta has superhuman physique, and even if you train in that world, most likely for hundreds of years, nobody could turn out like Asta. Like, let's look at Yami, yeah? Yami uses magic to enhance his physical abilities. Without magic, Yami probably couldn't jump 10 feet into the air, but Asta does this without issue. This would make sense if Asta's physical body is boosted by his father's bloodline. But at the end of the day, this is just a theory, and as I mentioned before, I asked the Discord over on Discord, what do you guys think is the origins of Asta and Libe's origins, and let's just jump straight into it. So Nero is first. Nero said maybe Asta's entire lack of mana came from his mom's mana eating magic. Well, I mean, yes, that's what we assume. Rakim757 said they have the same dad and a reincarnation of Astaroth. Now, this is obviously what I was just talking about, that Asta and Libe might potentially have the same dad. It would explain why Lucida said, even if you're a devil, you're not a bad guy, and why Lucida was so natural, even though Libe was a devil. Nalif Nahamapak said, Asta and Libe are probably the reincarnations of Astaroth, and the reason was that Astaroth got betrayed by Lucifer in the Space Devil, which for the record is in actual real-life scriptures, and Magicula. Asta maybe represents a part of him, and Libe represents another one. His swords maybe resemble his will or his conviction, and his duty as well. General Weebis says, Asta and Libe were split into two by Astaroth, one given his goodwill, Asta, Libe given his power to take over the underworld and rule over Lucifer. It looks like the Astaroth theory is very, very popular in the community. Shez the Master, making his second YouTube debut, says, Astaroth described as a great and strong duke. Asta is that, so I think it's some sort of reincarnation. Also, Astaroth equals Asta and Roth, most likely Libe. Remember, we still do not know Libe's official name. The name Libe has was given to him by Lucida. Killwest goes on to say, Astaroth was betrayed by his fellow patriots and was weakened and decided to split himself into two people, one getting his will, the other getting his powers. Libe and Asta are both reincarnations of Astaroth. Astaroth was most likely betrayed because he is a devil who likes good and dislikes unjust evil, and Lucifero and the others feared his power most likely. Malki, who killed it with her last prediction, goes on to say, I had an old theory that Asta was the son of a dwarven king and Libe is a subordinate of Astaroth. Ooh, Malki did kill the last prediction. Let's see if this one also becomes true. Thank you so much for participating. Remember, guys, if you have an epic theory, be sure to join Discord, as I normally do these. And the next one I'm going to be doing with fan theories is the predictions for Black Clover Chapter 290. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's reach that 500 like goal. And thank you guys so much for being an absolutely amazing fan base. I love every single one of you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.